I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1.
Yes, well, I suppose the Bixby Snyder character has so many different layers to him. It's not just a catchphrase. It is so much more than that. It is in the film Robocop. It is more of a study into the ennui of the Robocop universe.
I'll buy that for $1.
You see, Bixby Snyder is not the most challenging role, but it is an essentially defining role in the Robocop universe. I mean, here is just one snippet. 3 seconds, no more, no less. Played fairly frequently throughout the film, and that is as an essential hook into the Robocop universe, into the psyche of all of the characters. They are all watching this one character, and they are all reacting in the same way. Mild chuckles at the antics of this one person, who I want to play.
I'll buy that for $1.
The importance of the catchphrase cannot be overstated. I mean, it's just a few simple words, but it can encapsulate the meaning of the entire society of that particular decade. I shall give you an example of that. Let's just say, what you talking about, Willis? Now, what you talking about, Willis, is basically a throwaway line. It sounds like anyway, but when repeated over and over again, it sinks into the consciousness, and it reflected the deep cynicism of the 1980s, with its inflation and other associated economic problems, and so we bring us back to other particular decades. I mean, there's the Arthur Fonzarelli, which basically it basically says that everything is good, everything is fine, which reflects both on the 1950s, when it was set, when everything was fine, and the 1970s and 80s, when things were kind of decaying, but everything was okay back then. And even back in the 1950s, we have something called the Honeymooners, and to the moon, Alice. And what this signifies is both a what was the word? What was the word? Oh yes, it was a anticipation of manned spaceflight, and we had this laissez-faire attitude towards domestic violence.
I'll buy that for $1.
I am not just a comedian. You will not just be getting my comedic abilities. No, I am a classically trained thespian. I have done them all. I have done Henry V, and I've done Romeo and Juliet, and I have done I was Puck. I was Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was in that Scottish play, Brigadoon, and I was even Othello in an all-black production, playing the title role.
I'll buy that for $1.
Oh no, this is not my only comic persona. I also have done quite a few other things. I've done satire and parody. I've even done a drag act. Well, just consider for a minute Dame Edna Everage. Now, Dame Edna Everage was is still a result of 50 years of study of the Australian housewife. Whereas when I do a drag act, I am a fat, horny, middle-aged man in a dress.
I'll buy that for $1.
I have not simply taken on the persona of Bixby Snyder as played by the late, great S.D. Nemeth. Is he dead? Anyway, no, what I have done is I have added to his persona. As you can see, he used to wear a white shirt with a black bow tie. I am wearing a black shirt with a white bow tie. And there are very subtle differences. I mean, my comb-over is more of a side-to-side comb-over, whereas his comb-over was back to front. And it's these little subtle differences are what makes the role my own.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yes, well, Robocop would possibly be something still without the role of Bixby Snyder. But then again, what would the Mona Lisa be without a nose? I mean, they could try to imagine such a universe without such a pivotal character in it. And it might be successful. I mean, what would the Venus de Milo be with the arms intact? But then again, would you take the risk?
I'll buy that for $1.
It's acting.